Okay. Hello, travelers. My name's Rachel Ann. I'm Ever Adventurous, and today we're talking about the opening weekend of Mythos 2021 at Evermore Park.
I think sometimes they smuggle magical artifacts that they probably shouldn't have.
There are some great elements returning to the park this season. Two things that are finally back are that you're able to earn physical gold at the park, little gold nuggets, as well as you're able to trade with characters again. There are still guilds to join, and different characters will send you on different character quests. Vendors are back, and the shopping experience is more vibrant than ever. This is more vendors than I've seen at Evermore Park before, and there's a really good variety of really affordable items to more high-tier items, and a lot of the vendors are in character. They also still have the aerialist performers, axe throwing and archery, as well as the train rides. One of the biggest changes I've noticed with this reopening is that they have had to cut back on how many actors they're able to employ at the moment. They've had to make some cutbacks after COVID, and that's definitely one of the ones that you'll notice. They had about 20 actors in park each night, when some seasons we've seen as many as 40 to 60 actors. This meant a few things. Most of the characters were at the back of the park as opposed to being in the front courtyard to welcome everyone. Although we did still see the animal encounters happening in the line as people were waiting to get in the gates. And I did see at least one character who was normally in the courtyard. One very sad loss is it looks like currently we do not have the Bards Guild or the Coven Guild, which are my two favorite guilds. So I'm very sad to see them go. If you are a bard at heart, we need to make some like bard badges or something and just rally together and still be bards, even if there's not a Bards Guild. I imagine it'll be coming back eventually. On the other end of things, however, one of the park's all-time favorite guilds that has been gone for seasons and seasons has returned with a new name. The dragon trainers are now called the Dragon Riders, and they've got the dragon puppets and the dragon eggs. They're hanging out in the not the ruins, where the Coven used to be. One concern with the dip in actors is that it did start to feel a little bit like Lore 2018 in some ways. And don't get me wrong, Lore 2018 was incredible in a lot of ways. However, this opening weekend, I did have to wait for 1 to 3 groups of people ahead of me to talk to most of the characters, possibly longer if it was a really popular character like Bonnie Redboots, as she was at the center of one of the quest line. Now, this wasn't as bad as Lore 2018. I mean, there were times when I waited a half hour just to get a tiny question in with a character that year. So I'm hoping that they are for sure able to put more non-haunt actors on staff for the upcoming lore so that that doesn't become an issue. As for Mythos currently, though, it's totally manageable. It wasn't that bad at all. There was kind of a long wait time to get into the Mausoleum experience, so that was long. The guild ranks is a little unclear right now. It looks like they are recognizing your old rank, but the ranking system might be changing. So I think we'll need to wait until further into the season to see concrete updates on that. But you can join any or all of the guilds still. I'm actually recording this the Saturday of the second weekend, so I will say that ciphers have been found in park, that riddles have been, things to decode have been found. So go ahead and keep an eye out for those. Another thing that has been done away with, and this is a good change in my opinion, are the epics. This was a pay-to-play quest that they closed off part of the park, and then you would go into it for a certain amount of time and see this reoccurring story. And while it was a really good way to make sure that you caught the heart of the story action, it was really frustrating to have part of the park cut off and to have to pay for it. So I am really glad that now everything is accessible with your initial ticket, and you should be able to catch the story beats without having to pay an additional cost. One of the biggest changes was the food menu. Their sit-down restaurant, Vander's Keep, is still going strong. However, as far as Barter's Post goes, there was only one window open, and it felt more like a concession stand than the poutine fries and croque monster sandwiches and other delicacies we are used to. So you could see another budget cut there for sure. And I'm sure that they would love to be serving fancier food than that. Some items they do offer are hot dogs, pulled pork sandwiches, soda, chips, and nachos. I'm hoping these changes are short-lived as they get more crowds, especially as the self-proclaimed defender of gluten-free options. There are very, very few entertainment venues in Utah that offer gluten-free food, like a gluten-free meal. And so that was something that set Evermore apart. And I hope that will come back in future, and not just gluten-free options, but just really tasty, unique options. And the Hex drink stand with some of the drinks like Witch's Peaches, that is also still open. As it stands now, I would suggest making some time to go to Vander's Keep beforehand, or to keep something in your car to snack on in the middle of the night if you feel like those options aren't going to work for you. The Copper Confectionery is open. I have been waiting for this building to open forever, and partially just I love the design of the building. I was able to take a peek inside a few seasons ago, and there's just so many elements. Cue me showing different pictures of what it looks like inside, but it's beautiful. My favorite part of it is the ceiling. It just looks like an ornate, beautiful chocolate bar to me, and it makes me want to enjoy a sweet treat. Now, my dreams for the confectionery have always been hand-dipped chocolates and fancy pastries and fresh ice cream. Right now, they do have prepackaged cotton candy and prepackaged ice cream, which until they're able to upgrade to those cooler things. Not that I know if they're planning on hand-dipped chocolates. That's just my own little secret wish there. But I did still enjoy a cold Snickers ice cream on a hot day, which I was glad they had that option. Okay, I don't really enjoy critiquing things, so that was hard. And those are the things that are different in like gone way. But now is the fun part. Now we get to talk about what is new and what is exciting. And the first thing on my list, there is a portal effect in the upper mausoleum. The lower catacombs are closed so that they are able to do this effect. But there's a portal that you can talk with a character, and we'll go into that more in the plot section. But you can talk to a character, and then the character comes out into the mausoleum later and then out into the town. And it's a really cool effect. I'm excited about this. There's an alchemy station where you can make color-shifting potions. The battle arena had a nice upgrade. It has some netting to help both with shade and to accommodate archery tag. So aside from the normal battles that you can do in there, there's also tournaments every night. There's a junior battle arena tournament, an adult battle arena tournament, archery and axe throwing tournaments, and I believe if you win all three in one night, there's possibly a prize involved. Regardless, if you win any of them, you're presented by the princess as champions of Evermore at the end of the night. There are several new animals to be seen at the Glass House, and they are also offering a sort of open house experience part of the day along with their regular shows. And of course, when we are talking about new things, there are a ton of new characters. I only noticed 2 returning in characters, in fact, which were Nightshade of the Rangers of the Red Fletch, as well as Major General David of the Bird Show. A lot of the Bird Show people are returning, but Major General David's really the only one who is like a character. Also, the vast majority of the characters are being played by returning actors, which is great. Okay, here we go. First of all, we have some of the Blackhearts. We have Drustin Grimm, who is a human who helped found the Blackhearts with Killian. Mags, who is a Blackheart that was going up to the Mausoleum and investigating what was going on up there, as well as Calico, that you can find usually over towards the Blackheart hovel. Gambling Goblin, that's his name, and gambling's his game. And if you're not careful, he might just win the shirt off your back. In fact, I think that happened while I was there. All I know is that he was trying to either gamble or trade this shirt off the patron, and later the goblin had a shirt. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Did he keep that all night? I don't know. But it's hilarious. Saga is from the north. She was raised by trees and can speak to trees. And she said that they sent her to Evermore to listen to the talkers, meaning the people walking around and talking. We're hearing a lot of themes about trees, including from Per the Magnificent, the wizard. He mentioned something about being stuck in roots and to trust oak trees and never trust birch trees, which is a little bit concerning considering there are all sorts of arcs that you walk through in Evermore that I'm pretty sure are lined with birch. Aliena, who is a fortune teller, and she was actually my favorite character interaction of the weekend. She can do a reading for your character, she can read your aura, and I don't know, it was just one of those moments that I was like, I'm back, I'm in character. Oh, it was so fun. There is also Rena, who is a member of the Rangers of the Red Fletch, and she is interning with Nightshade.
Accepted into a program of sorts, and I did. You know, I took 96 out of 97, but I got in, and I'm very happy about it. And my friend Greg, who's also here on an internship with me, is scouting land right now. But he will also be arriving here at Evermore fairly soon on the internship with me. And we are under the command of Nightshade, the Lord of the Shadows.
Alvera is one of the dragon riders. She's from the mountain regions, and she has a dragon named Jaeger.
Evermore, I'm a nomadic dragon trainer, so I'm not exactly formally a part of the guild, but I do spend time around them just to catch up on dragon studies.
And who's this that you have with you?
This is Jaeger. It means hunter in German.
Oh.
I've been nursing him back to health.
There are two dwarves in the burrows, and their names are Dover and Dewey. They are from Evermore, and they are lantern makers. And if you ask them about Lonnie and Turno, who we know as the dwarves who lived there before, they will say that yes, they do know Lonnie and Turno. Those are their uncles. Captain Bonnie Redboots has a black arrow that belongs to the Rangers, and we'll talk more about that. Barnabas is a black knight from lore. Cyrus Clawthorn is a knight. Darian Toffel is also a knight. Princess Delphinium is from Mythos. Theo is a dragon rider. She's trying to get her dragon egg to hatch. Tinker helps run the archery range. Karina is a mermaid who joined Captain Bonnie Redboot's crew with her two sisters in search of adventure. Damien of the House of Blight is also from lore. The aerialists' name are Corinne and Eddie, and there is a fairy named Willa. 275, aka Regent, report commence. As the gates opened, I found the land that the other Caroline spoke of. We've not been able to contact her since her departure to the realm of Aurora. We did receive one signal from her. She sent an Everfrost dagger and cherry blossom. We take this as a sign that she is alive and well, perhaps looking for a way to establish a better connection with us in future. She knew the risks going in, and we have no doubt that she will accomplish the mission she set forth to do. The town is not entirely what I had expected after having reviewed her communications. She left Evermore in the year 1888. Rosaline informed us that during her investigations, Evermore had been extracted from the earth to reside in the endless sea where the ley lines were compromised. The Evermore I encountered, however, was still upon the earth in England, and the year was 1866. Most curious, I seem to have stumbled upon a reality alternate to that of my compatriot. The portal cycle of Mythos seems to be a naturally occurring event here. It didn't seem to have been halted by the Colzrin sisters and company, nor forced back into effect by Wen and Professor Wickham. It may be that law was never a part of the cycle in this reality. Is it only striving to become so now in 1866? The town is abuzz about a black arrow, an ancient artifact belonging to the Rangers of the Red Fletch. It seems it was a relic of the Dragon Wars of Mythos. Somehow, a certain Captain Bonnie Redboots of the pirate got her hands on it. It seems she's decided she'd be willing to part with it, and was encouraging the World Walkers to vote, or perhaps I should say bid, on which guild it would be given to. The Dragon Riders wish to destroy the arrow so it will not be used against one of their dragons. The Rangers simply want back what is theirs. I did not inquire into the other guilds' motivations to seek after the arrow. However, it is meant to be able to kill anything it touches, aside from perhaps a massively powerful practitioner of magic. Therefore, I imagine both the Knights of Mythos and the Black Heart Hunters would be eager to have such a resource on hand. Caroline often frequented what is known as Loudon's Rest. She believed something about the shrouded history of our organization, or if nothing else, some hidden piece of her heritage could be found there. I made a point to visit the place myself, and in the Mausoleum I made a most fascinating discovery. A portal had been opened. I hoped I might spy some spectre or being within. However, I was disappointed. I would soon learn that someone had in fact passed through. I spoke with 2 world walkers named Flint and Iris. They informed me they had spoken to a figure within the portal named Barnabas. His title was the Black Knight. He hailed from the world of lore. There were black stones with unique markings littered about this portal. Saga, a woman who had been sent by the trees of her homeland to watch Evermore, believes these stones are an anchor, perhaps for dark magic, for lore to connect with Evermore. Caroline St., or Adventuress 72, reported that lore was a highly dangerous force. Its portal opening brought with it the dark blood plague, the darkness, and other dangers. Barnabas requested that Flint and Iris, and as many other willing world walkers as he could find, bring back items of value, particularly sentimental value, from the townsfolk to the portal entrance and drop it into the chest there. This would strengthen the connection so that he may enter. Once this was accomplished, he toured the town and gave gifts of black roses, asking people to place them about. A wizard named Pear asked that any who found these roses bring them to him to study. Barnabas claims his world has no plague. However, this seems subject to suspicion, as the next night another native of lore named Damien came through, whose house name is Blight. One world walker shared with me that they had received a quill from Theo of the Dragon Riders and given it to the cause of strengthening the portal. When they informed her of this, she appeared to become physically ill with an instantaneous headache. Damien of the House of Light asked world walkers to repeat the same process to stabilize the portal. It remains to be seen the exact nature of what the threat of law could mean. Is it fated as the realities before it to become infected with the dark blood plague? Has it done so already? Are there resources that could be of use to us? And why are their emissaries so careful with their responses and outright dodgy in reply? Coded messages have been found in town that seem to lend at least some light upon these matters. Adventuress 275. Report closed. Right, so if you didn't catch all of that from Lady Ravenwood, the main story quests right now are first the Black Arrow, which the pirate captain has. And the World Walkers get to decide which guild will get this epic weapon that can kill pretty much anything it touches, including a dragon. You have to earn gold to vote. A few ways to earn gold was finding the gold acorns of the fairies, bringing black roses to pair, or different investigation quests for different characters. The second big story quest was the lore portal. You might need to investigate for the black hearts, go to the portal and bring them back one of the black stones from next to it, or maybe you're working with the people inside the portal to bring them objects of meaning from members of the town until the portal connection is strong enough for them to physically come through. And of course, you can still quest to become a member of one of the guilds. It sounds like the park intends for each season story arc to have 3 main parts to it, so you should be able to visit once towards the beginning of the season, once in the middle, and once towards the end to catch all of the big story beats. Quests are fairly repeatable until that transition. For instance, the quest to bring someone through the portal of lore, that happened both Friday and Saturday, but it was also different characters that were brought through, which means while the quest was repeatable, it's not like time was repeating itself as it used to do in the Epics quests, which I think is great. And I'm not exactly sure how they're going to keep that balance of making sure that people can participate in the same story without repeating it. So we'll have to see how that goes throughout the season. The current game does appear to be set in an alternate reality, a reset essentially. And while we can be informed by the magic system of the game we're familiar with and the history of Evermore that we're familiar with, this does appear to be a new world that we are playing in that is set 20 years before the universe or the Evermore that we left. However, there are a couple of characters that did seem to recognize World Walkers, so whether this is some sort of mixed reality or an entirely new reality isn't quite clear yet. By the time this video comes out, I'm sure we'll have a lot of answers to these thoughts, as well as a lot more questions. Apart from a couple of the budget cuts on the number of actors available and the food options, I think this is very much the Evermore that we're familiar with. There was a lot of concern about what all would be changed about it, whether it would be as immersive, whether there would be quests when it opened again, or if it would just be more of a walkthrough experience, and it seems to be a very typical Evermore experience. The actors are talented, the world is engaging, the buildings are gorgeous. Are there still unfinished buildings? Yes. Did I still get surprised by magic moments that drew me in and caught me up unexpectedly? Also yes. Everyone's gonna have different feelings about this, but I personally had a great weekend, and I'm really excited to see what they do with the rest of the season and with lore, and I hope that we can continue to see things improve and grow. Do you have any questions about Evermore? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me. If you want to see more content either about Evermore or other immersive experience or geek type experiences, that's what I do. So like and subscribe. I will put links to my social media below, as well as my Patreon if you want to help me create all of this and be able to have early access to photography and videos that I do. I'm also going to list some great resources if you are an Evermore fan. There is a Spoilers Facebook page, there's the Evermore Facebook page, there's a Discord that a lot of us talk on to kind of talk over plots and theories and different things. Those are great things to keep up on if you are interested in learning more about how to play Evermore. Until next time, keep creating and stay ever adventurous. See ya.